going on, YouTube? Welcome to iStuff Gaming, and today we're going to be bringing you the tier list for relics for the solo lane. And before we get into the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to keep up with any future content. I'll be leaving the link to my Twitch in the description below. Now, the reason why I wanted to do this, I'm going to be doing it for every single lane. I'm going to start with the solo lane because this is the lane I'm mostly in. And I feel like I have a really great understanding of how this lane works, so I feel like the relics that we choose, the relics that I choose should be the relics that y'all should be choosing as well. I apologize real quick. I do see that there are double the relics. Like I said, I apologize. I was rushing trying to find all the images for this before I started streaming, and it was just such a hassle. I didn't really find all the images until like 3 minutes before I started, so I had to kind of like hash it all together. So I am going to be doing this with a friend of mine. His name's Sarah. Go ahead and say hey.
What's up, YouTube?
All right. So he's gonna help me go through these with me together. I value his input. Let me know what y'all think about the tier list in the description in the comment section below, and let's go ahead and get started. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and get this out the way right out the gate. Teleport Glyph is S tier for solo laners. Now, the recent meta that I've been seeing is that people are starting to bring like meditation, link first, and like beads first, something other than teleport, and I honestly don't understand why. You see,
that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. Look.
Yeah, like this relic is stupid great for a solo laner, because first of all, if you're in the solo lane, you're more likely going to be building tanky, and you need to get farm as soon as possible. And teleport glyph is just really nice to have because it gets you back to lane almost instantly. And the only time I can see people not getting this first item is if like you're a mage, which we'll get to in a moment. But if you're not a mage and you're on your backing, like when you recall, and if you're on that pretty consistently and you know when to back, this relic is going to make farming so much easier. There's literally no point not to have this relic. What do you think, Sarah? Do you think it should be here, or do you think it should be lower?
I agree with you. You should be grabbing teleport glyph most of the time while you're in the solo lane. Going back to what you were saying about the meditation cloak start, people are going that because of the nerf to glass shield and the changes to berserker shield.
Yeah, and
there's virtually no sustain in that lane.
Yeah, but why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? Because you have refillable green pots, you have purple, you have multi potions, but if you just get 3 multi potions and then a refillable, you'll basically be healing back to full with just if you pop 1 of each. So there's really no point to have meditation cloak. Plus that can get anti-healed. You can't really do anything. Once it starts getting anti-heal against you, that relic is basically useless. Which brings me to my next point. If you use this, you're bad. You're gonna be seeing meditation cloak in this section all the time, because keep in mind this is mostly for conquest. Actually, this is basically for conquest. The only time I should ever see anybody using meditation cloaks is if you're playing assault, and even then, sometimes I even run like bees to save myself from people who get like Jing Shan and assault. So meditation cloak is borderline useless unless, and I say this very, very sparingly, unless most of your team has it. And I'm not talking about you and another person. I'm talking maybe 3 of y'all. Because that's the only time meditation cloak will not be 100% useless, and even then, it's not really worth it.
I never said it was a good start. You most.
Hold on, sorry, you're actually breaking out. Hello. That's whatever. We're gonna go ahead and keep going. So, the next relic I want to talk about is Blink. So
gotta love Discord.
You do gotta love Discord sometimes. It just makes people randomly cut out. But hey, so the next relic I want to talk about is Blink. I'm going to put it in. You're most likely going to be using this as a secondary relic, Blink. There's some people who can get away with getting Blink first item, tier, a Bracken. Sometimes even people like Achilles. You know, people with naturally really strong sustain are going to be running this relic, can run this relic first item. However, Blink, if you didn't know, or if you're just now getting into Smite, Blink used to be a lot better. The distance you can go at Blink used to be a lot stronger, and you could basically teleport up a lane with Blink as an item. And if you're playing as a really immobile tank, like I said, Tyr or like even Kabrakan, getting close to the enemy opposition or the backline can be really frustrating, and it can set up poor ganking situations if you don't have something like this. So you're more than likely going to be using this item. I think it's still a great item. Most roles can use it besides mid and carry, and you can get so much.
Even then,
even then, some people can get away with it. Yeah, some people can get away with it. So Blink,
it's just
Blink,
aggressive. It's an aggressive card.
It is a really aggressive card, especially the type of solo lane you're going for. Like, you more than likely won't be using this on like a Sun Wukong. You know what I'm saying? Because he has such long range poke and like a good get in tool at knockup, stuff like that.
Tiger form.
Yeah, so he has ways to get in. So you're more than likely not going to be seeing on people who are super safe, even like people like Lamana. The people who are meant to be aggressive, you're more than likely going to be running this item. Okay.
Yeah. And another thing with Blink mitigates like damage that you take by 10%.
Right,
when you blink.
When you upgrade it too, right? That's when you upgrade it.
Yeah.
Oh, and that brings me back to what teleport glyph and meditation cloak. The teleport glyph, when you upgrade it, if you didn't know, you can teleport to wards. And that sets up so much more ganking opportunities, especially like when the late game hits, when when everybody's towers are basically gone, you have nowhere to like really get in position at a super fast pace. Teleport is really strong.
Yeah.
And then meditation cloak really only if meditation cloak is so bad, I don't even know what the upgrade does.
So what the upgrade for meditation cloak does is it has the cost of people's mana reduced by like 30%, and then it takes away 1 second of cooldown to everybody affected by it. The mana cost is kind of terrible. Like, that's a pretty poor upgrade, but the cooldown reduction is really solid.
Yeah, but like,
yeah,
why would you need it?
Oh, my mana costs less, but I'm level 20, and
it don't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. You're at the very least level 15. You know, you're gonna have full mana the entire time unless you're just spamming your abilities on waves. You know what I'm saying?
If Med gave you the reduced mana like early game, oh yeah, that'd be a different story. But...
Oh yeah, or if they did it based off your health. Based off your health and not based off, and it can't be anti-healed. If it can't be anti-healed, that would be better. Then meditation cloak would be better, but that would be broken.
Actually, no. It would be better if it's scaled off of your health instead of your level, because remember the conversation me and you had the other day, where I said that moves generally, items that scale based off level are bad because it doesn't really change much.
Yes, I don't know. I feel like meditation cloak is one buff away from being like 1 or 2 buffs away from being broken, but it needs some help, especially in competitive play. You're not really going to be seeing this unless you're seeing like troll teams.
It needs some love, man.
It does. All right, so that brings me to so let's go ahead and talk about Bracer. It's not that it's bad, but I think it's borderline useless.
It suffers the same thing that
it suffers the same thing that meditation, and then on top of that, it's like it's only based on how much health you've lost, and it does it at it's not even like the full percent. It's like 75% or something like that.
Nah, it's 40.
It's okay, so it's like 40%. So you can get beat up and then get your health, and then get a little bit of your health back. But if you time it wrong, you can get little to nothing. Or if you're anti-healed during that time, you still get nothing. So you basically heal like a single tick from like a healing potion.
I'm gonna help you put this into perspective. Bracer of Undoing is the same thing as the 3 on Hercules.
Yeah, essentially. Essentially, that's what it is. You get a certain amount of healing based on how much damage you took within a certain amount of time. That's basically what it is, and you're really not.
Yeah.
It's so annoying to watch like a jungler grab this. Not for me. It's so annoying. Oh my god! Like, it's so annoying watching a jungler grab it and then never gank with it. That is so. It's such a wasteful item. You really could be doing anything else with it. So, you agree with me?
I will say this.
It's not medi, Because I've had Bracer say
it's
me a
not
couple
med.
times.
Yeah,
it's not med. So it has its uses.
The only reason I would say it's better than med is because the cooldown that it gives you is 3 seconds, or no, it's 5 seconds. My bad. No, it's 3 seconds. It's 3 seconds. And then you get a 3-second cooldown versus a 1-second cooldown. And then it does scale based on your health. So if you have 1,000 health and you heal, well, if you take 1,000 damage, you're gonna heal 400 health.
Yeah.
So med doesn't even heal you that much regularly. Like.
Yeah, so it can save your ass in like some tight situations. You're not really gonna be using it, but it's not meta. So I'll think you're bad if you get this item, but at the same time, at least it's not meditation cloak. Plus, at the same time, Bracer by doing is like super selfish. It doesn't even heal your team; it just heals you. It's such a selfish item. So like.
And yeah, selfish items in the 5v5 game don't really work out too well.
So. That's like if you and your buddy, right? You're climbing a mountain, and your buddy breaks his leg, right? but then you have a med kit, and there's only enough medicine and crap in there to save one person. But then you accidentally cut your finger on like an ice cube, and then you band-aid yourself, and then throw the rest of the med kit away. That's what Bracer is to me. That's literally what Bracer is to me. All right, so let's go over to the next item. Let's talk about barrier or shell, rather. Now, as a support, more than likely you're gonna be running this item first card. But as a solo laner, I would say matchup. It depends on matchup. If let's say okay, so let me put a situation for you. Let's say your support instead gets like, I don't know, sprint first and then like a horrific for more ganking potential. Right? Then it would be kind of up to you to get the shell so you can protect the team, even though it's technically it's a support's job to get it. But at the same time, when you upgrade it, you get 2 block stacks on it. So it can help counter people like Tsukuyomi. It can help counter people. So it can help counter hunters. Literally, all the hunters. Basically, it can save you from any AA based gods or people who get a lot of benefit just off of auto attacking.
And it also saves you from Hydra's Lament.
True.
And Polynomicon.
The only thing it doesn't save you from is executes. So this is not a bad item. It just depends on the matchup and the match itself. So. It's not a bad item by no means. But for solo lane, you're really not going to get this, but I've seen myself grab it a couple times when I need it.
I will say this. If you're in solo lane and you're playing somebody that has, mobility options, then chances are you probably would grab this as a second relic, or, maybe another relic will go through, pretty soon.
Yeah.
But this is definitely a better choice if you're playing somebody mobile. If you're somebody immobile, chances are you're running Blink because you probably have CC.
Right. Okay, so we agree, matchup dependent.
Yeah.
All right, let me go ahead. Actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and change that to dependent, not viable. Oh god, caps lock is on.
Change the F tier to meditation cloak.
All right, Cursed Ankh. Same
Never
spot.
build that as a solo laner.
You shouldn't. But hear me out. I'm putting it in matchup dependent. Here's my reasoning why. Right? Cursed Ankh is not a bad item. Because you can really screw over an enemy team the second you upgrade this. Because not only do you stop the enemy team from healing, but you can also make them take more damage if you pop this on the entire team. And that crap comes in clutch. Like, it really does. Now, yes, as a solo laner, you really shouldn't be running this item, but you really run this item if you don't want to build anti-heal, so you can get a more power-based card. But again, this is more for like the support. The support is mainly going to be grabbing this item, rather than the solo laner. But I can see you grab... Matter of fact, I'm going to put this above Barrier, or Shell, because I'll see more solo laners grab Cursed Ankh than I will see them grab Barrier.
Alright, this is where I disagree with you at. So, while Cursed Ankh does, and it does, it's like, what is it, 50% 50% anti-heal,
Actually, it's 100.
Oh, wait. I forgot. No. Didn't they change Curse Stomp? Hang on, let me look.
Did they change it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it removes shields now.
Oh, yeah. Curse Stomp removes shields
I forgot
too
about
now. So that just makes it even better. But I still put it in matchup dependent for me.
So, yeah, enemies that heal, specifically heal, they do take 20% more damage from all sources for the duration. You know, the 120-second cooldown whole spiel like every other relic. But if you're grabbing it solely for the damage when an enemy heals, why not just grab a Belt of Frenzy?
True.
Not only it increases damage dealt to all targets, including objectives, gives you, 15% attack speed, and you get pen.
Which is true. Which, by the way, I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna put Belt of Frenzy and matchup dependent. We'll get to that in a second. But Curse Stomp, gets rid of shields and anti-heal, and it makes people take more damage. Now, the reason why I put this here again is because I've been seeing a lot of Hell, I've been seeing a lot of Anubis, I've been seeing a lot of Raw, all on the same freaking team, like for no reason. So grabbing a Curse Stomp and then Suku building a Soul Eater, I do that all the time. But I'm just saying, if I you grab this, if you look at the enemy team and be like, 4 out of the 5 people on that team can heal themselves. So grab a Curse Stomp. That's how I look at that item. But you won't get it first.
Yeah.
You definitely won't be getting it first.
Definitely.
So, which brings me to Belt of Frenzy. Again, matchup dependent.
Yeah, definitely. Generally, you see supports pick up Belt of Frenzy, but as a solo laner, if the support picks up, let's say, a horrific emblem as well as a shell or like blink and something else,
you'll grab this to add to the damage to your team.
And it's more used for sieging. Yeah. Like when you're having fights under Phoenix and the enemy team's camping the Phoenix, you just pop that and you just go.
Over. And you can just dive into the tower. It makes it to where you don't get in those situations where you're just staring at the enemy team, but you have a wave coming in. So you can just pop it and then run it.
Awkwardness.
Yeah, you just pop it and run it if you're getting impatient. So I think this is great. I think it's better than the other 2 options when it comes to the solo lane too.
Quick disclaimer. If there is an Agni on the enemy team, this card will not work for you.
Oh, yeah. No, it won't. You'll die. You'll die. I wouldn't recommend that either.
I'm throwing that out there. Remember, matchup viable or matchup dependent.
All right,
so pay attention to how they're playing.
Let's go over Horrific. Now, this is me. This is 100% me. I'm putting it as more than likely using this as a secondary. Not over Blink, but I'm definitely putting it as using it as a secondary.
I agree.
Because like, if you're extremely mobile, but you got no way to slow somebody down, you got Horrific. So now you can just get in Horrific, and now they're stuck. And then popping Horrific actually makes them deal less damage to you if you upgrade it. So
no, not to you overall.
Oh, that's true. Overall, they'll do less damage. That's a lot.
15%.
That's a lot. You know how much 15% will screw you? Imagine fighting somebody who has a permanent 15% damage mitigation. You know how my bad. Imagine fighting Osiris, a full team of enemy Osirises.
Just annoying.
You just can't kill them. And then the slow is always great, even though it's only for like 5 seconds. But 5 seconds is a really long time. You could die in 5 seconds. So.
Yeah, and it's a 25% slow. It slows gods by 30%, then it slows their attack speed by 25%. So it counters haste and katana, counters things like oboe. Even though oboe is not like meta, but it'll counter Adelata's both.
Yeah, it will. So this card,
heartbeat.
This card is really amazing. I mostly run Horrific. If you watch my streams, you know that the second I hit level 12, I'm more than likely grabbing a Horrific. I'll grab Blink sometimes, but more than likely I'm going to be running Horrific. Especially, and then another good use for this, right, is when your team is actually trying to get away. You can jump into the middle of a team, Horrific them, and then run off, because you get that 15% damage mitigation. And they're slower, so it gives you a lot of time to get away. Now, disclaimer, if you do that, make sure you're tanky, because the second they get Horrific and your enemy team gets away, guess what? They're going to turn around and look at you. So be really careful with that. But it is a good option to help you get away. Keep that in mind. Okay.
Also, it is hard countered by heavenly wings. Just
yes.
Quick disclaimer.
Yes. So now we're gonna talk about Phantom Veil, or most people what they call it Ghost. Borderline useless.
Cloak, bro. I can't.
Just borderline useless.
This was good before Odin got changed.
Yeah, this was really strong before Odin got changed. Now, if y'all don't know what happened, Odin just used to be trash. He's trash now, but at least he's decent trash. You know, you can use him. You can use him in some places.
No. Can't have dirty garbage.
True. So hear me out. So how Odin used to work was that when he put his cage up, you couldn't get out of it unless you had a run move. So if you're somebody like Artemis, you were screwed. You can't get out. So you would have to run an item like Phantom Veil so you can move through Odin's cage. You can also move through like a bracken wall and your mirror wall. Things that are player made, you can walk through them. Right? So this item used to be really good against people who occasionally picked Odin. You know, it's one of those cards where if you don't get it and there's an Odin on the enemy team, or at least it used to be, you die. Now, it's not that good anymore because how Odin's cage works now is that if you basic attack it 5 times, you can get out to that side that you broke. But if you run out of it any other way, like a run move or using Phantom Veil, Odin will shoot a spear at you, which will not only slow you, but it does a pretty hefty amount of damage. So, basically, if you get Veil against him, you're asking to die. He'll just slow you and then kill you.
But then, even then, if you choose to use your leap to get out of an Odin cage, you're probably running away. You're never running.
Right.
He won't catch you because his leap is his damage.
Right.
So he can't just leap at you.
And then on top of that, forget about Odin for a second. Right. Why would you use this item? First of all, you're in the solo lane. Right. I had to reiterate that you're in the solo lane. So more than likely, you're going to be building some kind of tanky or bruiser like. So why would you need Phantom Veil to get out of anything? Right? The only time now that I can kind of see you using it is against Kabrakan solo, because if he puts that wall up, you're screwed. Like, let's be real. If he pulls that wall up and you don't have your run move, you're screwed. But if you put yourself in that situation, it's kind of your fault. And then you have, you know, Blink, Horrific. You got all these other items that you could possibly be using in different matches. So Veil really doesn't have a use, especially since there's not a lot of characters with player-made stuff, right? So there's really not a lot of uses for it. So it's but it does have its uses. So it's still not meta.
Yeah,
it's going in borderline use. It's going in borderline use. Okay.
And you know what sucks about meta even more? Cursed Ankh exists.
True. Cursed Ankh exists.
You see somebody grab a man, I'm grabbing Cursed Ankh every time.
Right, you just grab this, and then this card is useless. What, you get extra mana back? Learn how to manage your mana. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So these next two items, I'm gonna do these in conjunction because I feel like they're about the same. So
Beats Aegis.
Beads Aegis. Yep, you knew. So Beads Aegis. Beads, I'll see you getting more than Aegis. Right? Because beads will save you some CC. So like it'll save you from like a Cerberus ult, Ares ult, Dodgy ult,
dying. Or just dying.
Yeah, or Persephone, or any kind of CC. So this card will save you more often than not. But here's why it's going to be matchup dependent. Right? So not only for those matchups, but like I keep reiterating for this solo lane, you're mostly going to be building like a bruiser. So either you're just going to take the CC anyway and then eat all the damage because you have a Spirit Robe, or you're just going to run Magai's Cloak and then not care about CC anyway and then run at the enemy team like a degenerate. So there's really no point to have beads, but it is good to have against teams that have very heavy CC, especially when your Magai's Cloak is off of cooldown. But like I said, you're supposed to be building like a tank or a bruiser, so you're more than likely not going to be running this item.
Also, there's if you just build a Spirit Robe.
Yeah, Spirit Robe makes you take less damage, 15% damage mitigation for getting hit with any hard CC, which is like stuns, mesmerizes, taunts, fears.
So
Yeah, so any of those, and then on top of that, you slap on a Stone of Gaia with that, and you're fine. You really don't need this item.
You just stay alive forever.
You just get hit, and then look at them funny because they dropped your health down below half, and they look at you again, and you're up above 75%. It doesn't matter. Like, so this card, and then that brings me to Aegis. So Aegis,
if you grab it as a solo laner,
no, I'm putting in borderline uses. This is for the solo lane. Do not grab an Aegis. Do not grab an Aegis. Because this keeps you from fighting back. And healing! And healing! So like if you have a Hell on your team, and they try to heal you, but you have an Aegis up, guess what? You just SOL'd yourself. Now she's gonna die because she doesn't have her healing to save anybody else. Because she decided to save whatever it takes. So, don't get Aegis. Please don't.
If you are tanky, do not grab a card.
Why would you need a card like Aegis to save you from damage when your entire build is revolved around eating damage? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
That's what barrier is for. That is literally what barrier is for.
Exactly. You can just run barrier instead. If you're really
your entire team alive.
If you're really scared about taking a hit, just grab a barrier. It'll save you more than an Aegis will, to be 100% honest. And then look. Nothing's more frustrating than okay, you know what? No. I take that back. It's borderline useless, but there's only one case where I would like to see an Aegis on somebody, and that's a Zhang Kuei. This is and here's my reason why. Right? Pop ult, run in, but pop Aegis. You will still hit them. But you won't take any damage. And Aegis lasts about the same amount of time as Zhang Kuei ult. So this crap is
1.5 seconds?
Yeah, about. No.
Dang, it's all short.
Actually, no, it's like 3 seconds. But it's still pretty short. It'll save you from half the damage, you know? So if you run in, you only take half the damage. More than likely, they're going to throw everything at you. So then you come at Aegis, all they can do is basic attack you.
Look, I do you one better. Just run barrier. It lasts for 3 seconds.
There you go. So don't ever grab this as a solo laner. Okay. Now, this next one's gonna be a little bit tricky for me. We're gonna be talking about Thorns.
Oh.
I'm going to put this in the top of matchup dependent. The very top of matchup dependent. Because some of the time you can grab Thorns as your secondary if you don't want Horrific or Blink. And my reason being is for people like Kuzumbo or Kakulin, or even somebody like Nemesis, if you're really feeling Nemesis solo. And the reason being is because this card will give you so much damage and mess up the enemy team with their own damage. And people who have tick damage or reflect damage, Kuzumbo, Nem, Kakulin, this crap helps. Then you slap on a Mystic Male with that, they just hurt themselves and kill themselves.
I will say this though. So Shield of Thorns is a good card. You know, it reflects 40% of all the damage you take before the mitigations. So, you know, stacking damage mitigation, it'll help you. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it lasts for what, like 5 seconds or something like that?
It's like 4.
Hang on, let me check. Yeah, it's 5. Okay, it's 5. It's 5.
5 seconds. Yeah, that's a really long time.
Yeah, it is. And then it has a secondary clause to it that people often forget about. Saying that if you take like 150 times your level damage while this effect is active, it'll cancel out the Thorns. And because the effect was canceled out, the enemy team won't take the damage.
Right. And then, but also, when you upgrade this, doesn't it make it to where you can't heal as much off of it as well?
Yeah, you can't lifesteal off me.
Yeah. So once you upgrade it, you can't lifesteal off of it, and you're hurting yourself. So it can be a strong item, but it's matchup dependent because not really a lot of people can use this. But I would run this more often than not than the rest of these items.
It's also countered by magic defense.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. So my next item, Sprint. I'm gonna put this in borderline uses. I can't put this in D tier because at least you get your team out of situations. You know what I'm saying? But as a solo laner, what the heck would you need this for?
I don't think it's worth having as a solo laner unless you really want to hasten Katana as a mage.
Yeah. Like it's. I would never see anybody using this. I saw one person do it. One person. And he was 0-16 by the end of the game, and that was my fault. Like, just don't. Just don't. If you're really scared about running away, horrific. Or if you're really just not trying to take the damage barrier. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're really worried about getting slowed, grab beads. Beads will save you from more than just slows. You know, just don't ignore this. Ignore this all the time. Just it sucks. Don't do it. And this brings me to my last item, Sundering Spear. Now I actually don't know how to feel about this item. I never use it. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I never use it except in like damage Cabrakan builds and like Joust or like a dumb game mode of the day. But Sundering Spirit did get a buff. Now it takes away shields. You know, and that's at base. That's not even at like upgraded. That's at base. That's really, really good. But like, why? Because this item only affects one person.
I got you. So Sundering Spear is a card where you will only use it ever against somebody super tanky. Mm-hmm. And generally, like most of the time, you use it on the Guardian.
You know what it is? You know what it is? This is an anti-Nike item. You only use this against. You only use this against Nike. Yeah. You only use this against Nike or Geb, yeah. But you really only will use this against Nike. And Nike is played way more than Geb because nobody likes to save people. They just want to run at you. And then Nike's definitely one of those people. She just runs at you, takes all the damage, gets this like 10% health, ults you, and gets half her health back in shields.
Yeah. So how the card works, you know, for those of you who don't know how it works, it'll shoot just a straight line item. It goes max range, so 70 units. And then the first person it hits, that's who gets the debuff. So it'll take 15% of their current health. So if they have 100 health, it'll only do 15 damage. But if they have 1,000 health, it'll do 150 damage. You know, so forth. So you do the math yourself. And it'll break the shield. And then after it breaks the shield or does the damage, it'll increase that person's damage taken by like 20% for like 5 seconds, something like that. So it's really, really good playing into Guardians or people with like big shields like Hera, Nike, Jeb, you know, guys like that. Even Odin.
Yeah, even Odin.
You hit an Odin with this, he'll probably die in like a second.
Yeah. So
it's matchup dependent for me.
Matchup dependent
for me.
I'll put it.
Because there's other options. It's just like
because it's not Aegis, and I put Aegis at the top of borderline useless. I'm gonna put him at the very. I'm gonna put that at the very bottom of matchup. Very bottom. Because it has its uses, and Nike's been played a lot more. I kept trying to tell you that Nike was freaking retarded, but nobody wanted to listen to me. You know what I'm saying? Nike's S tier. A+ tier. I'm not gonna say S tier. A+. But this really counters her really hard too. You just save it for her, because then she can't do then she can't do Nike stuff against you. For everybody else, just using against her. But this is the final product. Yeah, I'm really happy with this list. I know there's not a lot for the S and A+, but it's solo lane. You're mostly going to be using these items anyway, so this is how it goes. So let me know what you think about the list. Let me know if you disagree, agree, or if you would move some stuff around in the comment section below. Thank y'all for watching the video, and I'll catch y'all next time.